Hello, YouTube, and those to whom this should concern. I'm just being cynically humorous. But I would like to take up where I left off. The reason why I made reference to the societal safety net that used to be instruments of last resort is because them safety nets are being dismantled. They are becoming obsolete in a rapidly accelerated fashion. Now, the Republicans and the President of the United States, which happens to be black, stated that these budget cuts are necessary and that even though President Obama, don't approve of the type of budget cuts and the manner in which they are being initiated, he basically caved into the onslaught of the Republican preemptive assault upon the societal safety nets that people who are economically disadvantaged, or shall I say economically challenged, have relied on for decades. Now, there are a percentage of people who believe that them areas of budget cuts is long overdue and that it is essential that we eliminate wasteful spending. Now, it's evident that the value of lives has become diminished to a scale where the dollar has risen in value in the context of human life, and human life has been diminished. And we wonder why the dollar has become so globally weak in this global economy. Maybe the standards of this nation that has never been high to begin with is rapidly diminishing and could most likely be the result of the falling globally weak dollar. Well, to move right along, the sovereignty that used to offer protection in various nations are being dismantled as well. Nation sovereignty for various nations that have become the target of Bush self proclaiming preemptive strike tactic is being continued through the actions of this present president of the United States who happen to be black. Now, when nations lose sovereignty, the cascading effect will become even more certain for the sovereignty that make up the human rights of the individual as well. Now, there are hunters that take pleasure, sadistic pleasure in hunting down and expunging the lives of lions. There are poachers that take pleasure, sadistic pleasure, in making a head of an animal a trophy on their wall. Now, if there are hunters of that mindset, then we should be forewarned that there are hunters that hunt man. They don't have to have a gun to utilize that initiative. They can utilize policies. They can utilize laws that was, according to them, constructed for the protection of the individual. But we should put it in the context of an endangered species. Now, in order for them to protect that endangered species, they would have to imprison it. They would have to put that endangered species in a controlled environment. That is an aspect that is increasingly becoming evident in this domesticated, comfort pursuing, controlled environment. Now, man, through technological advances and through advances in other fields, have endeavored to create a society of convenience, a society that he can proudly say is an achievement and an advancement in the civilized technological environment that he can declare as the greatest achievement in human history, recorded history, which will more likely be a digital recording in this technologically advanced civilization. But the endangered species that has been placed on the endangered species list is forcibly, if that is what is required, which in most cases it is, the endangered species is placed in a controlled environment, deprived of the freedom that it used to breathe as we once were able to breathe clear, fresh, invigorating air. Now we who have been placed in a controlled environment has literally co-signed our own inch by demise. We have been placed, the inhabitants, we have been placed inadvertently through our consent. We have been placed in a controlled environment, and it is presented as a means of providing us with the security that we have been deceived into thinking is required. But there is something that we should not fail to recognize and utilize quickly and officially, and that is this: freedom is security. Now, any animal, any predatory animal, or any other animal, if they were capable of human speech, which man is increasingly becoming devoid of, but if that endangered animal on the endangered list could voice his concerns, it would be a declaration of the right to be free, free to determine its own state of being, not taken from its natural environment due to the fact that it is the unlawful acts of man that have placed that endangered species on the endangered species list. And then man come, or the other dual disruptive personality of man is exerted to offer the animal the protection that it should originally have in its own environment. But we should recognize that our sovereignty that make up the sum total of our rights, is being threatened to an extent that will contribute to the neutralization of rights as we know it. Our rights would make up the sum total of who we are, would be forcibly removed by the mechanisms of a controlled environment that has been created for the purpose of stripping us, man, women, children, of their national right to have free use that affirms the sovereignty of their rights. Now, what are rights? How are rights utilized? They are utilized and should be utilized to affirm who you are and affirm your freedom. The freedom to utilize and exercise your rights to stand your ground against that which threatens the sum total of who you are that affirm the sovereignty of your rights. Now, if you misinterpret the reason and definite implementation that affirms how your rights should be utilized, then you stand an even greater chance of being dismantled and stripped of your human rights and placed under the same conditions that an endangered species is placed in. According to the societal geopolitical environment that is becoming global in scope, them conditions are being utilized for the purpose of making us a prisoner of the very place we supposed